lot of things happening in the time since I was last video making. One of which is the fact that I have moved flat and I've now actually lived here longer than any other flat I've lived in my adult life. But I've never really told the story about the day that I moved in here because, to put it mildly, it was a bit of a mess. This might come as a bit of a shock to my flatmate because he has never heard this story before. So I moved here in June 2019. The property search was good, the viewings went alright, managed to get the keys. But then, on the actual day I was planning to move, it rained a lot. I'd actually planned the move out in 2 trips for my stuff. And on the first one, I thought to myself, it's raining quite heavily, isn't it? After the first trip was done, I realized it was really heavy. And I actually started to get a bit scared and stopped driving a couple of times. This was one of the sights that greeted me after the first trip was done and I was coming back to the old flat. Now you can see the road in the distance and you can just make out a curb on which some of the bollards stand, but apart from that, there's not really much else going on there, is there? So in a bit of a fluster, I raced back to the old flat, buzzed my way in, because of course I've already handed the old key back in at this point, and raced back to what was my old bedroom, now empty of course, and just sat on the floor next to the bed for, I don't know how long, 2 hours possibly? It was definitely a lot longer than it should have been. And in all the fluster and internal commotion, I completely forgot that there was another road through which I could go to the exact same place. Now when the time had passed and the rain had just receded enough to allow me to drive through, it also occurred to me in that long period of sitting that I didn't have the appropriate bedding for the new place and it was quite late on in the day. So I decided to book a hotel room. Yes, that's a real thing I did. I stayed away from my new place to stay before I'd even stayed in it. When I got to the hotel room, I realised that a lot of the essentials I'd already taken with me on the first trip, which meant that I had no toiletries, no change of clothing, and virtually no food, which went about as well as you might expect. Fortunately, the next day, the flooding had receded and my mind was in sufficiently good place to allow me to buy the requisite stuff for my new place, and I moved in and things have been fine ever since. But it just goes to show you that it is only human to make mistakes, and sometimes there can be a little bit of joy in that. Although for me, part of the joy of life is being able to do things spontaneously. I mean, I didn't script this video. I have no idea what I'm going to say next. And I must say, I am very much looking forward to a time when we can make mistakes like this again. So, thanks for watching. And until I come on here once again to make my next set of mistakes, bye for now. And that's good.